We avoided a lot of the annoying, like, vile throws and some of that stuff, though, which was really nice. No one really took any significant damage here, except for the critical hit on Karlach. We're going to actually check out the interior here a little bit later, because we do have to loot this whole town, too, and there's going to be a lot of that. But I want to go ahead and get these guys dealt with. Let's use Shadowheart, go Healing Word on Karlach. And that should be plenty, yeah. And then we'll go with Will. I want to go ahead and get this last combat initiated. Like I said, could absolutely just do dialogue with these guys, but I don't want to. I want to kill them.
I found my mark.
Missed, really.
To be here, it might be wise to walk away.
Nah, there's no walking away. We're killing everybody. Not everybody. Some people I talk to, but most of them I want to kill them.
Hasn't gone unnoticed. It's about to be returned in kind.
It's crazy to me that both of those booming blades missed. That's insane. Alright, I'm gonna go Reckless Attack this guy, which was a crit that instantly killed him. That is fantastic. Let's just go get behind this guy then, kind of flank him. That should be good, keeps him from getting away.
Survival is all that matters.
And then I'm gonna reapply Hex, Dexterity. And then we're gonna go for another Booming Blade right here.
May the gods take you first.
Nice, actually hit for the first time in this group of attacks. We've got Will. Let's see if he'll finally hit. Doesn't look like we have the Hex as an option. Must have lost concentration on that somehow. Nice, double crit. Huge. Let's go ahead then. We'll give this to Will. And we could be applying poisons and stuff to Will's weapon and such. I just don't do that often, but it's absolutely worth doing. If you continue on further down from here, you're going to run into an encounter with Auntie Ethel. And I want to save that for later, just in case I want to buy more potions or anything from her in the Grove. There's a skeleton over here. Just a short bow, don't need that.
I need to keep sharp.
We do have a little bit of loot we can get right here. Go ahead and put that in my pocket, I guess, because it won't just let me send it to camp from the floor. I hate that. Unless you go into the inventory of, like, a barrel or what have you, you can't hit the send to camp option. You have to have it in the inventory of something. Otherwise, if it's just on the ground, your only option is to pick up and add to wares. Got some more drinks here, so we can add all those back to camp. Alright, so we've got one more, let's call it encounter to deal with, where we're going to try and resolve it by dialogue. I guess we'll go do that first. And then once we're done with that, it will be time to loot this place completely. Let's go ahead. I got wood crates or something here. Just little bits and bobs. Got some more alcohol, so that's perfect. These are all camp supplies, so it's just really helpful. There's really no reason to ever be out of camp supplies with how much stuff they give us the opportunity to pick up. Let's go ahead and see if there's anything right here I want. Already emptied that, it looks like. Okay, and then I'm going to try coming up through here and not doing this aggressively. I want to peacefully talk to these guys.
What have we got here? Oh, stop this thing!
The goblin seems unsure whether to bow to you or attack.
That's a fun interaction, being a dark elf.
What do you need?
Okay, so you can just attack them. I don't want to do that.
You want to take that little pipsqueak? But we're supposed to take him hostage! But you know that, of course. Don't ya? You are blessed, ain't ya? A true soul?
As the symbol glows, power courses through you. Authority.
So I definitely want to do the Illithid option here. Even though wisdom isn't great, you only need a 2. And this is important for us to be able to start using the Mind Flayer tadpoles to increase our power. So yeah, I want to do this here.
You're a true soul.
Your mind lurches, reeling suddenly as if bitten.
We'll be on our way, sir. Do as you like with the pipsqueak.
The goblins slink backwards, afraid to take their eyes off you.
Ask the pipsqueak on the spinny tower. We're out of here.
Yeah, I didn't think they'd stop for us to ask questions, but I wanted to try. I've had this encounter bug before, where even though I talk to him and convince him, they still try to fight. And fighting them isn't the worst, but I wanted to try and keep that goblin alive, the one we were speaking to specifically. They all had dialogue stuff that popped up and just disappeared.
Well met.
Yeah, doesn't look like I can do them now. I don't know what that was all about. So we got a mauled sheep here. We can get some meat from it, which is nice. I do intend to help him. Yeah, I'll get to it in a minute, bud. I'm not in any rush to help him, but I will help him. Studded shield. I'm not even going to bother picking it up because we don't need it. We've got shields. I'm pretty sure I have a couple back at home, and we could always buy more if we needed it. I do want to get in here. Is there a door? Here it is. Now, you gotta be really careful about these levers. I'm gonna save real quick, and I recommend you do the same. There's a brake lever and a brake release lever. You want to hit the brake lever. The release lever does not save this individual, so keep that in mind if you want to save him like us. Or if you want to be evil and not save him, then hit the release lever instead. Go ahead and take a little look here. Could do a goblin scimitar. Let's check the carcass. Empty burlap sack will be empty too. Just a rag. Don't need the large bottle. Large bottles and stuff can be sold if you're hurting for money. Here we go. We got some goodies. Grease bottle, which will go to Will. Alchemist fire, which will go to Will. And then I'll go ahead and send both of these to camp. That food's pretty much the only reason I came up here. Though there are some weapons on the ground and such, too, if you just want them. Let's go ahead and speak to the Deep Gnome. I'm pretty sure this is a Deep Gnome. Which don't historically like Drow very much, but we'll see how that goes. I'm going to wait for my group to rally up over here before I continue. They're probably all just kind of lagging behind because of the ladder.
Cut me loose! Bagakabara. Those pustulant thugs. Well, get on with it.
Okay, let's just see what he
I'm
means.
a deep gnome, you're a drow. You helped me, now you plan to enslave me.
Hmm?
What then? My own fault, really. I should have dropped my pack and outrun those bastards. Alas. Take my pack, if you can find it. The only reason those goblins caught me was its weight. I'll travel lightly from now on.
Alright, so I don't have any... well, we can keep talking,
Ignorance
I suppose.
is alive and well, it seems. Deep gnomes aren't restricted to the Underdark, you know. I've lived in Baldur's Gate for years. I'm in search of a friend. I fear he's in trouble. See this? I gave it to him years ago before I left home. I found it around the neck of a thug in the lower city. It was speckled with blood. My friend, nowhere to be found. But I still have hope. I have reason to believe he's in the Underdark.
Hopefully, I'll pick up his trail from there.
I always help my friends. On that note, I bid thee farewell. If we should meet again, well, we will have met again.
Alright, so we finished with that. There's not much to go on there. We did get inspiration for Will, which is good. Inspiration is what's used to give us our rerolls in conversation, so they're very helpful. That Deep Gnome said that he was caught because his pack was too heavy. His pack's going to be down here, so we'll see what was weighing him down. Heavy backpack, it says. What is in it that is so heavy? He's got a smoke powder satchel, 2 gold, an apple, and a baguette. So that was what was so heavy for him, apparently. I guess the smoke powder satchels are really, really heavy. Do have a heavy chest here as well, with some speedy light feet boots. These are pretty helpful. Speedy sparks when the wearer dashes or takes a similar action during combat. They gain 3 lightning charges. I'll probably put this on Will, though normally I would put it on someone like Karlach. But Will has the cunning action dash option, so I think I'm going to give it to him because he'll get more use out of it. I do plan on, like, top end, so way later, to dip Karlach into rogue options for extra. If you go rogue assassin, you get extra throws, which are really nice for the barbarian, no matter how you build it, as long as you're going to be using thrown weapons in one way or another. I plan on continuing with the giant, but I'm going to utilize the, what do you call it? The elemental cleaver ability for throws, so I still want to use thrown weapons with Karlach. But aside from that, that's kind of why you would want to dip into rogue with a barbarian. That's the real crux of it, is you get an additional throw option because they get some fast hands ability or something like that that lets them do that. It is specifically for the assassin rogue, though, so, like, Will's not going to get it unless I actually bring his rogue into higher levels, which I already know I'm going to be doing swashbuckler for him, so he just won't be getting that ability. We are looking to actually get him swashbuckler rogue on the next level. Let's go ahead and check and see how our levels are doing. We're still got a little bit we're missing, unfortunately. Let's go ahead. I think it still says there's like a fish or a fish head here. Can I reach those? Maybe not. I was trying to, but I don't think I can. No. Alright, so there's 2 places we want to go from here, ideally. I think I'm going to start by going in here. We've got a blacksmith building here, and I'm going to loot this upstairs. There's not very much up here, but there's going to be a basement we really want to get into. Anything interesting in the barrel? No. Okay. Got just a little bit of stuff over here. Selenite necklace, though it's not worth anything. I'm not going back up to the roof for the bird nest. It could have stuff up there other than just rotten eggs, but that's what it usually is rotten eggs, so I'm not wasting my time. You can get into the basement by burning this cobweb and jumping in. That's not the route that I'm going to take, but it is an option. Sellable cutlery and such, not really anything too useful. Do want to go ahead and grab the old key, not that it's entirely necessary, but why not? Did I already loot this goblin? I don't even remember. Looks like it. Nothing there. Nothing there, and I'm not interested in the weapon there, or the dagger here, because it's just a regular old dagger. Okay. There's a couple barrels here. I doubt there's anything in it we want, but... Okay, we got some alcohol, so it's worth it. Now the plan is to go ahead to the interior of the building, though. We want to go through this door here, and we do have the key. This place isn't particularly dangerous. We shouldn't have to deal with any monsters or any fights, but it is absolutely worth coming down here, and there are some traps that we'll have to disarm. Looks like there's some random useless clothes around for the most part. Got 1 gold. I'll just put it in my pocket, I guess. Not much to say for the inventory here. I like to pretty thoroughly check things, but obviously, as you can see from what I'm getting, there's not like a ton of useful stuff in all of these barrels and such, and it takes a long time to loot them. So it will randomize, but you can see a pretty good reference of like what this kind of inventory looks like from just my going through it here. There's like a little bit of gold and some items you could sell if you really want to and aren't using that money exploit that I am. But all in all, most of the little containers that you can loot in here and stuff just aren't worth it. Sometimes you'll find food, which is nice, but most of it's all rotten through here. And then the clothes, I mean, you can try it, see if you like it. Some of it's usable for your, like, camp clothes and stuff, but for the most part, it's just not worth it. But I just like to make sure I've checked all the containers and I'm not missing anything particularly useful. But if there were any kind of unique weapons or anything like that, I would point out their exact location. I wouldn't just... You won't find them just in like a burlap sack or bottle racks or anything like that. Got some thieves' tools we'll send to Will. Let's go ahead and deal with some of these items here as well then. Get that to Will. Send to camp. Send to camp. Send to camp. We need to get the other part of this broken weapon. And I mean to do so before moving to the next town or what have you, but not quite there yet. I really want to get this next level up before I decide to do any of that kind of stuff. So I'm trying to do, let's say, minimally difficult areas first. None of the fights in this town were too excessive, except for if you decide to fight those ogres. Let's go ahead. There should be... We've got a book here. You can sell the ink pots and quills for a little bit. They're worth 10. I'm trying not to pick up like the large bottles and stuff like that. Tea is camp supplies, so we'll take that. Same thing for the mug of beer.
Wish I had a bag of holding.
Cupboard, see if there's anything useful. Usually it's little odds and ends that you'll find in a lot of these inventories, not anything too useful.
Be wary. This place is trapped.
Okay, so we did get, as you can see, this chest is booby-trapped, so we gotta have Will mess with that one. Some weapons there if you want them. Again, they're sellable, but overall not terribly useful. Let's go ahead and switch to Will. Disarm. We'll give him, it shouldn't be necessary, but we'll give him Bardic Inspiration as well as Guidance just to be safe. Because disarms can go negatively. Usually for lockpicking, it's not too difficult. You can always just re-roll it without having to use Inspiration, but for disarming, you want to be a little bit more careful. Then it should be openable, so we'll go ahead. This is an important inventory item. Let's see. Send to camp. Go ahead and look at this.
Weapon blueprints that use Sousa bark. Rare find.
So you can get a unique weapon from using that blueprint. So that's kind of nice. And then up here, we actually have another chest. This is the one that I wanted. This has something important for Karlak in it, but I'm going to head over here first. Check these out. I've already looked in all those. We want to check this one. Got a short sword and a glaive. Spark powder barrel we can take with us. And then Will is going to lockpick this for us. He still has the bonus from guidance, so I'm not going to bother with giving him... ooh, that's a really low roll. see how we did in total. Didn't quite make it, unfortunately, but we can just retry without having to hit try again because we have Thieves' Tools. We have a significant amount of them, in fact, too. So, still has the guidance. I'm not wasting Bardic Inspiration on something that we can just retry over and over. Got a natural 20 that time.
I've got a long road ahead.
So here is Infernal Iron, which we need for Karlach.
Infernal metal! This can help Damon patch up my engine.
And then we've got a Steelforge sword here. It's basically just like a +1 short sword. I'm going to give that to Will, because he needs that. And then we've got Blacksmith notes here talking about the iron. I'm going to go ahead and send that to camp. And then send a couple of things here to camp as well. So, looking good there. Nothing too serious. So now we can go back to the blacksmith in the grove for the infernal iron for Karlach. We will be doing that pretty soon. I do want to go ahead and interact with Will's inventory. Instead of the scimitar, which is 3 to 8, we're going to be switching to the 4 to 9 Steelforge sword. And you do want to make sure you use Bind Hex weapon on the new sword. But that should have him much better equipped than he was previously with the short sword. Anything in here that matters? Let's open this up and send these to camp real quick. And then I want to get that the original scimitar from Will. That way we can just add it to wares. Get everybody moving on. There's a little bit more loot to do. Like I said, if you get that susser bark, you can come back here to this forge and do some stuff with that. There is a like hidden wall thing here. I'm not going to be going in there excessively, but here's how you open it. I like personally using Eldritch Blast to open these kinds of walls. It's just much easier than using a blunt weapon. If you heard a little cut there, that was actually my sneeze finally going through, so I'm super happy that happened. Okay, so we got Will, some more lock-picking stuff. There's just a handful more containers here to look at, nothing too important. Thieves' Tools is fine, send that to Will. Okay, and then obviously short swords and torches and such on the ground. We don't need any of that, though. There's a pike in there. You don't see those very often. So this opening here overall leads to the same area that you would get to under the well that we found earlier as well. I'm not going through here yet. This is like this is one of the more difficult areas in the game that I plan on coming back to much, much later. So not right now, but that's one of the pathways to that. I just wanted to go ahead and open it up. I'm going to go in here. I think I'm going to go ahead from here and head back to the grove very briefly. So that we can talk to Damon for Karlach and talk to the other tiefling. I can't remember his name right now. Zevlor or something like that, I think. And then once we're done with that, we'll fast travel back and go through this building. But I think there's some XP to be gained from talking to Damon with Karlach, so I want to go get that done real quick. And we're at the point where we're out of short rests, too. We shouldn't need it immediately here, but if we get into any other large combats, we're going to have to take a long rest. So that is worth noting as well. But anyway, we can go ahead here, hit fast travel to the Grove. Yeah, Emerald Grove Environs. And Blighted Village is where we are right now. This will put us right back outside the Grove, which is nice. We can go ahead, head in, and get a little bit more done. Like I said, I'm trying to just get XP and squeeze out what I can before I get into some of the more difficult fights in this area. So we'll have to see how that goes. I'm not sure if this will give us a level up, but I'd like to think so. Let me just check Will's inventory real quick. I want to make sure that sword Yeah, okay, he's got the short sword and the dagger, so that's fine. The dagger is obviously worse. We could get another, like, +1 short sword for him or something. That would probably be fine, but just not there yet. Yep. Have to go to this. Maybe we'll even find something like that with Damon, because I want to sell all of my wear items as well. Get them out of the inventory. Right over here is the door that we'll have to go into to speak to Zevlor. Like I said, I would have done that earlier, but I just forgot and didn't want to make a side trip for it. Let's go ahead and speak to the blacksmith.
How fares the search?
Please let this work.
The weight of it. And that blaze of chaos. Can't imagine this where my heart should be. Must be quite the experience. Give me just a moment. And I think... There. You'll have to install it, I'm afraid. I don't think there are thick enough gloves in all the realms to protect from that kind of heat.
That feels... good. I'm still burning hot as hell's hole, but I feel less... changeable. Cheers, mate.
Pleasure. And as for the heat, I haven't got any solutions now, but I'm not giving up. Could be if the combustion chamber had its own insulation, or if we had some kind of enchanted coolant. Find me again in Baldur's Gate. If I'm worth my salt, I'll have figured something out by then. Take care, Karlach. And hopefully the next time I see you, I'll have something promising to report. Pocket any infernal iron you find along the way,
Alright, so made some progress with Karlach, very nice.
Damon's upgrade didn't cool me down, but it did juice me up. I don't think I've ever felt more powerful. Sooner rather than later would be good. I feel like I'm burning serious fuel. That's what I like to hear. Now, let's trot. Standing still is making my skin itch.
Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and cut off here. I'm gonna do just a little bit more shopping in between episodes and see if we can't find a +1 short sword for Will so that he can have that instead of a dagger. But overall, things are going really, really well. We're not quite at the point where we have to do a long rest yet. I'm going to go back to the Blighted Village in the next episode and check out that other building that we haven't looked through yet. I don't think we're going to need to take a long rest before that because there's not going to be any big combat there. There should be some fights and some can be difficult, but it's things that I think we can handle with what we've currently got going on. So we should be able to get our level up off of that because we're very, very close to level 4. So, assuming that all goes well, and we're going to get another very useful item that's going to give us an extra party member, essentially, and that'll be really nice, too. So, I hope you guys enjoyed this. Thank you for joining me, and I hope to see you in the next videos as well.